times, but it's very true that the 4B hair type and the 4C hair type, or really anything that has a tight curl pattern, is very suitable for dreadlocks. Now, this doesn't discount anybody that has straight hair. Of course, there are methods like crochet hooking, instant locking, interlocking, twist and rip, that are very suitable for straight hair in order to create dreadlocks, and I have plenty of videos on that as well. And if you don't know your hair type, make sure to click the link down below that says what is your hair type. And if you already know your hair type, make sure to comment down below what your hair type is. But many of you guys do know, and if you don't know, that majority of people that have dreadlocks typically have anywhere from a 3 to a 4 range of the hair type. And it's just like what I said, just because it's more typical. Now, with him starting out with two-strand twist, it takes the hair a little bit longer for it to actually lock up, since he's doing more of a traditional route of dreadlocks, which is kind of self-explanatory considering the time in which he got his dreadlocks. That was very popular. It was the twisting with gel, was the two-strand twist. We didn't really see much of the sponge rub or the crochet hooking or instant locking or anything like that back in his time, which obviously isn't that long ago, but honestly, crochet hooking and things of that nature were mostly introduced about 5 to 6 years ago, and is definitely more popular now. But there is a tip I want to tell you guys about two-strand twist dreadlocks. When you're doing two-strand twist, keep in mind if you want to keep in a two-strand twist and allow those two-strand twists to turn into dreadlocks, or if you want to do a two-strand twist and then do a twist out and have those single twists and then have those single strands turn into dreadlocks. And the reason I'm saying that is because you want to keep in mind the section size that you're actually creating. Because if each strand in the two-strand twist is a big section, then that means that your overall dreadlock is going to be quite big because you're doubling up in size, considering that there's 2 sections in the two-strand twist. So if you want to keep the two-strand twist in and allow the two-strand twist to turn into dreadlocks, then I would consider creating the section that you have in mind and then splitting that section to create the two-strand twist. Now, of course, if you just want each strand in the two-strand twist to turn into dreadlocks, and obviously you just create the sections for that two-strand twist to the size that you want your dreadlocks to be. So that when you do the twist out, the section of the strand is perfect for the dreadlock. And obviously keep in mind that two-strand twist is mostly popular, or I would say more suitable, for the 4 range hair type. And the reason I'm saying that is because with a straighter curl pattern, it's harder for the hair to want to stay in a two-strand twist. Because believe it or not, with the 4 range hair type, you can do two-strand twist without any product whatsoever. But of course, people typically use products like locking gel, which I would highly recommend the Dreadlocks locking gel, just because it has a maximum hold and will hold in your twists perfectly. But on the flip side, if you have a straighter hair type, or if you have like a looser curl, the two-strand twist is not really going to want to stay in. So it definitely requires you to use locking gel. Like I said, I would recommend the Dreadlocks maximum hold locking gel, which if you want to pick that up, the link to that is down below. And this product can be used for simple retwists or for styling your dreadlocks. Now, although LA Capone started out with two-strand twists, which is actually a method that requires a lot of maintenance, we see that down the line his roots got very messy and he allowed it to overgrow and kind of become semi-freeform, which I've explained in multiple videos, to where you either start out with a method and you allow it to freeform afterward, or you just don't do that much maintenance, or you start out freeform and then you maintain it later. I would call all those methods semi-freeform, but in this case, especially in the time that he had his dreadlocks, especially with him being in Chicago, this is a very popular hairstyle, and especially the way that he has his dreadlocks is very popular as well. Because I'd probably say this is around the time of Chief Keef. Now obviously it's a little after his time as well, and I mean of him becoming initially popular. But when it comes to places like Chicago or Atlanta or Georgia, not only are dreadlocks popular, but a certain style of dreadlocks is popular. And in this case, the way his dreadlocks look, I would say even more of the traditional style of dreadlocks are very popular in Chicago. And just like how I mentioned earlier about Atlanta or Georgia, wicks are very popular down there. But you guys, overall, LA Capone has some interesting dreadlocks, but like I said, they are very traditional. And I want to hear you guys' comments down below. Do you prefer traditional style dreadlocks? What I mean by twisting the gel or two-strand twist, something that takes a little bit more time for it to actually come into fruition to becoming dreadlocks? Or do you like freeform dreadlocks, or do you like